Hello and welcome to the Peak Endurance podcast. My name is Isabel Tate, and with me I have two co-hosts. With me is Ron,
Hello.
and we've also got Daniel.
Hello.
So, welcome back to the podcast, Daniel. I nearly said Ron.
Well,
I'm not going to
thank
welcome you back.
Oh, dear.
How's life been treating you since the last time we chatted?
Pretty good. The still the motivation to train a lot is not there. I'm finding that I'm filling my days a lot with work and doing some extra. I'm doing some marketing studies and stuff at the moment. So
Okay, yep.
I'm finding that by the time I get home and then do a bit of stuff around the house, the one job I have is cleaning the kitchen. So I clean the kitchen and then I'm jumping back on the computer for another hour and a half. So I'm
Yeah.
not getting to bed until 10:30, 11 o'clock. So
Oh, good Lord.
I'm
That's
really
when I'm just waking up again.
That's your
so,
first toilet.
Yeah.
yeah, so just really struggling to then get up. I'm fine Monday, Tuesday. Then come Wednesday, Thursday, it's all like just drag myself out of bed. Then this morning I was just like out of bed at 7:15, which is like afternoon for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm still running 3 or 4 times a week, but nothing really specific. So I think it's going to be a busy period for the next sort of 8 weeks or something, and then I think I'll need to find something to train for just to get
That's
that.
the thing, isn't it? I think having something to train for makes all the difference. Like, I don't know, if I didn't have something to train for, I don't know if I could be bothered. Like I would not have the motivation to get up and train if I didn't.
Yeah, it's funny. Like I always tell people, like you shouldn't have to have something to train for, and you
Yeah,
should be
yeah.
able to keep fit and doing all that stuff. But coming off last year, doing two big races, it was such a structured year in that regards. But a lot of other things fell behind. So this year, I'm
Yeah.
trying to prioritize all the other stuff. But you can really then just lose complete motivation. And like I'm like, oh yeah, I'll just run for 30 minutes, and
Yes.
which is fine because it's still keeping me active and it's keeping the muscles moving and the joints and stuff loose. But it certainly hasn't given me any real sense of goals or anything just yet. But we'll figure that out later on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
don't know. I just wouldn't even be bothered with 30 minutes a day. Like there is a very lazy person that lives inside me that would just do nothing if given half a
the,
chance.
the lazy person has a strong voice. The only thing that outspeaks the lazy person is the stressed person that goes, "Oh my God, I have to train for
Yeah.
this race that I've
Yeah,
signed
that's
up for."
right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
I'm actually almost the opposite. I'm happy to keep training. I don't have goal races. I'm happy to keep training. It's not until we get to the hard stuff when Isabel's hitting the hills a lot,
yeah.
where my motivation for doing that stuff wanes because
But
I
it's not
don't
not
have
that
the
it's
goal
hard,
for
it's that
that
you
stuff.
hate hills.
Yeah, but I might still do them if I have the goal.
Yes,
Whereas,
yes.
Yeah.
the will to keep climbing those hills starts to wane after a while because my goal isn't to,
No,
do a mountainous race.
no,
Yeah.
that's right. So, but you still are going to have to do Tour de Géant training.
I know, yeah, that's going to be the
She
tough,
needs a
the tough one.
companion out there, so you need you
Yes.
need somebody there with her.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that's right. And
yeah,
we run together on the weekend. So, well, I'm going to be doing that.
yeah.
So,
That's
If
right.
you want to
If I
you
want
want
to
to
do
come
it,
along.
yeah,
yep.
that's exactly right.
So Ron and I both have Buffalo Stampede next weekend. Ron is doing the short
No, it's
slam.
not. It's the Grand Slam.
Oh,
Baby slam.
well, because we met some runners the other day, and I said, "Oh, I'm doing the long slam," and they said, "Yeah, yeah, we're doing the other one." I said, "Oh, the short slam," and they didn't like it that I called it short.
Yeah.
Like they find that like a put down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's like, but it's not a put down, it's the short slam as
yeah.
opposed to the long
I've
slam.
got a
Like to
long one and I've
me,
got a short one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
it's
had
just descriptive word,
yeah.
years ago we
not a
Disparagement.
yeah, not a comment on their personality or
yeah, or
something,
their ability. Yeah.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
their
Just making
ability.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like it's what
Women
else am
training
how
for
can they both be the Grand Slam? They're
Yeah.
not.
they can
It's
There's the short
actually
Grand Slam and the long Grand
no,
Slam.
what it's officially called is the Grand Slam and the Ultra Slam.
Ah,
But I
oh,
mean,
for
to me,
fuck's
the Grand Slam sounds like it should be the long one.
yeah, it used to be called the Grand Slam.
Yeah.
Like I've got a photo of me when I did it, and on the bib it says Grand Slam
Yeah.
because that's what I was doing. So that's why I just say the short and the long
Yeah.
because I thought they were both Grand Slams, to
Yeah.
be honest. But you know, who knew it was such a triggering comment?
I can imagine.
But
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think people sometimes just get a little bit like, who cares?
Yeah.
Like,
I
I
think
don't
when
know.
some people take offense to that, they possibly feel like they should be doing the other one. That
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
probably, it's almost like, oh yeah, I probably could have done that, but I'm just doing this one. So maybe it's a bit more about them than it is about
Yes. Well,
what you're
that's
actually doing. And yeah,
it has to be because
Yeah.
it's certainly no, I'm not looking down my nose at
No.
people like Ron's doing the short
I
one.
mean, where we are in our running is that we call the marathon the short run,
Yeah, that's the
essentially.
training run.
yeah.
Yeah.
We do that
So,
like just on random Saturdays. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
exactly.
yeah,
It's not like we look down on Kipchoge
Yeah.
because he only does marathons.
Yeah. I mean, we know marathon in our minds, we know that marathons are long, but for where we are and what we do, it's
Mm.
actually not that long.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. It's
So,
just it's comparison. It's just
yeah. Yeah,
so
that's right.
you can't let anybody else's journey affect yours or anything.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You just got to
Yeah.
enjoy what you're doing and know that that's what you're doing. You chose to do it, and maybe you can do it faster or whatever it is.
Mm.
Just
Mm.
enjoy what doesn't matter what anybody else is doing. Just do what you're doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
100%. So anyway, we had
It's,
a sort of taper long run, which was for you,
it's my longest run.
your longest run. For me, it was a taper. But it was the best long run I've had since last year. I think because the weather's improved, but also I've been able to sleep. I haven't been sleeping. I'm notoriously a bad sleeper, but you know, I've been focusing on when I wake up, not thinking, and that
Yeah.
helps me just go back to sleep. And yeah,
Yeah. So
we had a really good run, didn't
yeah,
we?
we had a good run. I was starting to
You were hurting.
wane by the end, and then the next day
You
killed me.
struggled, yeah, because
Uh,
then we did 20 Ks the next day, 35, 30, and then 20. Was it 30? Yes, it was.
yes, it
I
was,
can't remember.
but it was only yes, it was 30 and then 15 on the Sunday.
No, it wasn't.
Yes,
Was
it
it?
was. Yeah.
Okay.
So I found the 15 quite hard
Yes,
getting up
you
the
did.
next day.
Because we did 1,500 meters climbing with the 30. So
Yeah. So it
Oh,
was still for me, it was still a tough day out there.
yeah, yeah. Oh no, absolutely. When your longest had been 20.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah. You were doing the reverse taper
It was.
and I was doing the normal taper.
Yeah.
But so yeah, so we'll be leaving Friday. So no podcast for
No,
2 weeks.
yeah, that's right.
When's the race? Saturday?
It starts Friday night. So there's a 10K Friday night. Then the next day, I start the 100, and then Ron has 20. And then the next day, we do 42 together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
And then
we will be driving to the airport Saturday night after the marathon
yes,
and flying to New Zealand on
The next
on the
day.
Monday morning.
to
Perfect
crew.
recovery, a bit of flight.
Yeah, to crew for two of my athletes. Yes. So and in a strange turn of events, the Airbnb that we're staying at, we're going to be she's going to hop in the car with us and go to the airport with us because she's got a flight the next day.
So yeah, so we're really getting to know her. We'll be staying with her, and then we'll be driving her the
Oh,
3.5
perfect.
hours to the airport as well.
And the rest.
No, that is 3.
Is that
I
all it
I
is?
looked it up the
Now,
other
how
day.
come it's that amount of time to home?
Well, it's 4 hours to home.
Yeah, so the airport's further.
No, it's not, because we stay to get from Bright to the airport. We stay on the Hume Highway for most of the trip, and it's faster and straighter.
Well, faster, yes, I
Yeah.
suppose. Yeah, okay.
So it's distance-wise, it's probably about the same, but speed-wise,
Yes,
it's
okay.
actually quicker.
Okay.
Well, that'll
Anyway,
be-
that's going to be super.
That'll be saving her a chunk of money in petrol, not having to then drive to the airport.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
But she's letting us also come, like the she'd already agreed to let us come back and have a shower after doing the marathon. So like the checkout was meant to be 10 a.m., but she was already going to let us leave all our stuff there, come back, have a shower, get our shit together. And so then she said, and she's gonna, like, we're driving there anyway.
Yeah.
So, so it just was funny. It's just like, but that's Airbnb, isn't it? And that's why I like Airbnb, because it's actual people rather than,
Just a booking link. Yep.
yeah. So That's all part of the fun.
Yeah.
And then, so no podcast for 2 weeks. But that's fine.
But I'm sure we'll have a lot to talk about the
Yes.
following week. We
That's
might actually, the following week, we might just do a podcast.
We sort of discussed that,
Yeah,
didn't we?
where we're just
updating.
We won't have
because
another.
the 6-dayer will be a big one to talk
Yeah.
about as well for anyone who wants to do those kind of
Yeah.
time-based events as opposed to distance-based events. We
Yeah.
can talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, really interesting.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we'll have a lot to talk about.
Lovely.
yes.
How's the weather
And
looking?
it might pique your interest. That could be your next goal, Daniel.
No. I think I'd be very quickly at the divorce courts if I decided to do something like that. I think I'm just going to dip my toe back into a 10K or something like that. Let's not go something really crazy.
That might be safer. That might be safer.
That would be the end of me.
Yeah, fair enough. All righty. So cross training. That's what we are talking about today. And what we're going to talk about, well, first of all, what is cross training? What is cross training? Daniel, did you want to give us the definition?
Yeah, so I would see cross training as something as simple as if you're training for a marathon or anything and your legs can't cope with running 6 days a week, supplementing some of those other runs for another strength-based element that's going to continue your fitness, build your fitness from there without having the overload of constantly pounding the pavement, which can obviously affect your hips, your knees, everything like that. So there's a lot of different ways you can do it. But I think we're going to discuss today is the fun ones, the most beneficial ones, and the ones that you don't want to do, but probably have to do.
And I even have maybe some unusual ones in there. So basically anything that is meant to help you be a better runner. And that's what we're going to rank them according to. Like, will it help our running? Okay. And like you say, it could be because someone is injury prone, so therefore they will choose to do this. And in that way, it helps their running. But in general, we'll talk about whether it's beneficial for running and help you become a better runner. So obviously, and you kind of sort of said it, the most common one that runners think of is strength training, right? So I would say I won't go first, but okay, we'll talk about strength training, heavy or light, right? So I want you to rank heavy strength training versus light. And when I'm saying light, I'm talking about, 20 reps, 20 to 30 reps, that as opposed to, and heavy could be anything from, doing your 3 to 4 reps up to about 10 reps. So, because there's heavy, and then there's also moderately heavy. So that's what we're including in the heavy. The light is, coming from that, we're runners and endurance athletes. So let's train the endurance aspect, 3 sets of 20 reps with a light weight. So, Ron, did you want to go first?
Yeah.
Seeing as you hate strength training so
yes,
much.
I do, yeah. Yep.
How would you rank strength training, heavy, light, and
Well,
yeah?
I think getting to the gym is probably half the battle. Once you get to the gym, you're 90% of the way there. I think as a runner,
usefulness to running.
As a runner, the heavy weights, not so much. It's great to build a base to have strength. You need strength as a runner, but stop looking at me like that. Stop not looking at me like that. But when you're getting into the, back end of your training, when you're really working on your fitness, I think the light stuff
is more
beneficial. The heavy stuff.
The light stuff.
The light stuff.
Do we ever do 20 reps?
Well, no, but we do lighter weights.
Yes, but I said light weights like 20 reps.
Well, yes, we were doing that yesterday.
You weren't using weights, we were doing core work.
Yeah, but it's still gym.
Okay.
Yes, we were still in the gym. So technically,
just don't mind us, Daniel. We'll just have a little.
we've fallen back into our usual style
of arguing.
Yeah. So, so I guess we've got different definitions of heavy. I
said heavy was anything.
I know.
3 to 4 reps to about 10 to 12.
But I think heavy is lifting heavy weights and pushing your muscles, to their limit as far as
So what would you
when
give it a
when you're
score
finished.
out of 10? What would you give heavyweight?
I would give heavyweights probably 5,
What about
and
light?
lightweights probably 7 to 8.
Okay, right. Thank you. Daniel?
Yeah, see, I'd probably go the opposite. I'm one that never. I don't think I've ever done a set of like 20 reps. I don't think
Yeah.
ever. So I'm one that usually does like 8 to 9.
Yeah.
That by the time you get to 8 and 9, it's pretty heavy. You're pushing really through. But as long as your form doesn't then obviously go diminish. So I would give, I think the strength element, you're wanting to build the strength in the muscle. I think the running itself will give you the endurance. I don't think you need the lightweight, then endurance on top of that at the same time. I think we focus on the gym to build the strength so then we don't get injured, not necessarily to build the strength to then get more endurance. So I would rank the strength training as a cross-training element. I think I put strength training more as just a thing you have to do, not necessarily taking a run out. I think you should find time to just fit in that other 30 minutes. Again, we should be able to find 30 minutes a day to get into the gym if we want to. But I would give the strength heavy like an 8 to 9 out of 10. And then unfortunately, I'd probably give the higher reps like a 2 or 3. Like I don't really rate them too much as a training element to it. It does give you some endurance and stuff for your muscles, but I'd prefer to lift heavy over that sort of 8 to 10 rep.
Yep. I would have to agree, because also heavy training works on our fast twitch fibers as well, which is something that endurance running doesn't work on. And light and endurance. I probably shouldn't have made you go first, should I? I'm feeling bad.
I just want to point out also that I'm the one who's not a personal trainer as well. So I'm working purely on preference.
Yeah. That's true. So I would give heavy a 9 out of 10. And I agree. I was going to say that actually I don't consider it cross training. And I've made a reel about this too. I consider strength work actually part of your running training. It's actually a part of it. To me, it's a non-negotiable. It's not cross training. And I mean, I have some athletes who don't do strength training because they really don't want to do it. And that's fine. I'm not here to, I'm not a born again Christian going to bash you over the head with my strength training dumbbell, but I do believe that it's actually part of the training. And the light, I would give a 2 to 3, because honestly, it's better than nothing. Like seriously, it's better than nothing. And like, yes, we were doing high reps yesterday, but that was sort of more the plyometrics.
Which we'll be getting into.
Yes.
Next.
So that's going to give you a little hint. We might not make you go first with the plyo.
Thank you.
And then, and like we're going lighter. Actually, we didn't use any weights because I'm tapering, right? We're both tapering. So you can't get any stronger in the last 2 weeks before a race. You can only get more tired. So we get rid of the weights and we're just using core work as maintenance, right? Just to make sure we keep what we've got, keep the muscles firing and, that sort of stuff. But yeah, so 9 out of 10, if not 10 out of 10 for heavy-ish. We're not bodybuilders. We don't need to, go for powerlifting. And yeah, 2 to 3 for light. All right. So as we alluded to, plyometrics is next. Daniel, what are your thoughts on plyo?
I think plyo's really, really good. It's something that unfortunately I would do 0 of because it hurts because I'm not flexible, or like getting into bands and all that stuff. It's something that I have to do because I know my body needs it, but it's not something that I certainly put into my weekly. Even when I was training lots, it's not something I ever really did. I did the strength, I did the bit of cross training and the running. I never did the plyo, but I think that should be around that. Again, probably not a substitute for a session. Again, it should be able to, if you're watching TV for 30 minutes, just get on the floor and do your stretching and do your core work there. So again, it should be just part of your weekly maintenance of your body. And again, probably that 7 or 8 out of 10 that it needs to be in there. But as a cross training, not so much, but it's vitally important that, again, I should be doing myself, but
Yeah.
I don't make the time to do it.
And look, I agree. I think plyo is, yeah, probably 8 to 9. Once again, fast twitch muscle fibers. And this is one of the things that endurance training for ultras and that we lose and as we get older. I think doing a little bit of plyo before you do your run sort of reactivates them. Like you just need to do 2 to 3 minutes just before you do your run, some hops and that sort of stuff, pogo jumps. The one thing with plyo that I have to say, although it's really good, is people need to be really, really, really careful with it. Don't just start doing split jumps and box jumps, and you will injure yourself. If you're doing plyo, you do some jumps and then you'll have a 2 to 3 minute rest where, yes, if you're doing it at home, that's what I recommend. You do some plyo and then you do some other things in between, which is what we were doing. Remember, we were doing core work as well. And we would break it up with 2 to 3 core exercises, plyo, 2 to 3 core, plyo, 2 to 3, So it would be a circuit because those fast twitch muscle fibers tire really easily. And if you back them up, split jumps, box jumps, hops, whatever, you're going to get an injury. So break them up with other things, which is, like you said, a good time to get your core work in or some stretching or something like that.
Some balance, like we would
balance, yeah,
which
yeah,
on
that's
the
right.
cholesterol, but
yeah. Yep, exactly. So I think plyo is really, really important, especially for older runners. But you've got to be so careful. And like we had done the structured training where we progressed it. We were doing the explosive weights, and that's why we kept the plyo in now before we started the taper, which is where we were using lighter weights, not light, but not heavy weights, moderate weights, and doing jumping, like doing squat jumps, holding dumbbells, and doing Bulgarian split squats, holding weights and hopping with the front leg, that sort of thing. And that's what we get, the peak endurance coaching athletes to do, as you know, is we progress through and we get that sort of happening just before their race. But once again, we make sure that they're really strong first and then that comes in. But then obviously the 2 weeks before the race, we drop all of that. And but yes, plyo I think is an 8 to 9. What are your thoughts, Ron, having gone through my program?
Yes, no, I agree with you in that the progression is important.
Yes.
And the plyo in the lead up or during the taper is also very important because it still works on those fast twitch muscles.
Yeah.
You're still giving them a good workout without tiring the body too much.
Yeah. And I think it actually almost gives you energy. Like it makes it feel like you've got extra energy.
Yeah.
And about being careful because some of them you don't do because it hurts your knees.
There's certain ones where I'll either do half of it or avoid,
Only with the Bulgarian split squats, you weren't doing the hopping, were you?
No, I wasn't doing the hopping on them because my knees, particularly my right knee, just doesn't do it.
No.
I try and land and my knee just keeps bending. So,
well, one would hope it would bend, but I think you mean kind of buckling.
No, I mean when I go to stop the bend, it keeps on going and doesn't want to stop. So I do have to adjust it slightly when we're doing that sort of stuff. I find the jumping is fine because I guess my left knee takes over when it needs to. But if I'm doing one-legged, I have to be super careful with the hopping type stuff.
All right, cycling. Now, I used to be a cyclist, so I'm probably biased, and Daniel is an ex-triathlete, so he's probably biased too. But I think cycling is one of those ones that if you can run, you're better off to run because my belief is the best way to get better at running is to run. But if you are prone to injury, then cycling would be a 9 out of 10. I think it's one of the best cross training. If you are a trail runner and you do some mountain biking, it's also really good for helping you to run fast downhill because you get used to traveling faster downhill and picking a line. So it's good for that. Also, cycling really helps you get strong legs, and it also really builds fitness fast. So I would give cycling personally a 9. I wouldn't substitute cycling for running if you're not prone to injury, but if you are, then I think it's a 9.
Yep.
Ron, thoughts?
I would maybe do it a little bit less in that cycling, there's very different versions of cycling.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's road cycling, cross-country mountain biking
Yeah.
type cycling. But you have to be careful that you don't go out and do you know, an hour-long ride where half of that is coasting down a hill
Yes.
and expect that you're going to get the same results as you did if you went for an hour-long run.
Yes.
Um,
And that's where the downfall of cycling is
Yeah.
it takes twice as long. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, how many times we running down a hill and a cyclist goes past and we look at him and go, "Oh, I wish I was on that bike."
Yeah.
It's a different beast, and you
It
have
is.
to treat it as different and alter your
Yeah.
expectations accordingly.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
otherwise, yes,
So what number would you?
7 to 8. So
Yep.
yeah,
Cool. Yep. Daniel?
Yeah, see, I'd probably go like with that 9 out of 10. But like you said, I think cycling, there's a lot of different ways you can do it. You could jump
Yeah.
into a spin class and
Yeah.
absolutely burn yourself out for the
Yeah.
hour, get a really good sweat, really good
Yeah.
sort of workout from it. Whereas if you're on the road, I think possibly I could use it more as a recovery tool,
Yeah.
just going out for a coffee ride with your mates for 90 minutes. But
Yep.
then if you want to substitute it in for a run, then go out and have a purposeful ride. Like go out for 90 minutes, but then do 30 minutes easy, do a 45-minute hard set in between, almost like an interval run, because
Yeah.
you're obviously not loading up the body, but you're pushing the muscles, you're pushing your heart rate, and you're going to get that endurance from there. I always found when I was doing triathlon that if I was strong on the bike, it would probably go into help my running, like it would give me
Yeah.
that strength. But then when I used to go back to it and I've been running, the running fitness didn't necessarily transfer
No,
over
it
to the
doesn't.
bike.
No,
I'd then
it's
jump
funny.
into the pack and get shot right out the back. Like it just, whereas if you were strong on the bike, you could find that into the run. So
Yes,
I think
absolutely.
if you're going to put the ride in there as a substitute, not a recovery, have to make it purposeful, treat it as an interval session and actually get something from it, because you can make an hour bike ride actually really hard, or you can make an hour bike ride where your heart rate's literally just above resting.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Just chatting with mates and then go for a coffee for an hour and a half. So there's a couple of little things you can do with cycling, but I think it's a great recovery tool, but also you can make it a really good workout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We for a while there, or a couple of times we were going up to the
Up the
bike
hill.
at the gym when we
Oh,
went
yes, that's
upstairs to
right.
the
Yeah,
bikes.
yeah.
And we were doing purposeful workouts that were
Super hard.
super hard. My heart rate was going
Yeah,
up through
yeah.
the roof.
Yeah.
They were tough. That was a sweat fest.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
You were amazed at how hard
Yeah.
a bike trainer workout could
Yeah.
be. You didn't expect that.
I'd
did
never
you?
really done it before. So
Yeah.
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 The only bad thing was it took too long, so that we couldn't keep doing it because we were
Yeah.
too busy.
Oh, and also I just got too tired.
Because we were doing that on top of our running, because that
Yes.
was
I was training for something.
you were training for something there.
I think the spectacle, but I didn't
Yeah.
end up doing that race. So
Yeah, so
yeah.
you were doing that on top of your regular training. You weren't substituting.
No.
And
And
yeah,
I
it
just
just
got
became
knackered.
too exhausting.
Yeah. All righty. The next one that I'm going to be doing a lot of in the coming months, the Stairmaster.
Yeah.
Right. Daniel, what are your thoughts on the Stairmaster?
Really beneficial, especially when you've got a race where you are getting a lot of elevation gain. I think it gives your legs a lot of strength, but I think it's more so mentally. If you can stay on that boring Stairmaster for half an hour, even longer, you're going to build some really strong mental endurance.
Yeah,
So I
absolutely.
think that side of it is really good to substitute. You probably don't need as much time as you do on that one because it is so hard. But definitely the strength element for the mind to push through on a Stairmaster is really beneficial. So I'd give that like a 7 or 8 out of 10. It's just that mind numbingness of it that is the only thing that would take it away from me.
Yeah.
Yep. No,
Right.
I would also give it an 8 out of 10. I've never really done it myself, but I've seen other people do it. I've seen you do it, and it looks hard. So, no, absolutely. I think particularly if you're into hill running and training for mountainous run, absolutely good
Yeah.
workout.
Yeah, so I would give it 7 to 8. 8 because it is a great workout, like it really strengthens your legs. 7 because you don't get the downhill aspect That's my only problem with it, is that it's great. And then people go, oh, I'll do that instead of hills. But then you've got to do something, and that's where plyometrics come in a bit. You got to do something to strengthen your legs for the dying hills, because the Stairmaster will not do that. And yes, I also give it an 8 because it is a mental toughness workout, because it's just so boring. But the beauty of it is you can be on it for 30 minutes to an hour, and we just don't have hills like that in Australia where you'll be climbing for an hour. So it is great in that respect. Just make sure, if you are going on the Stairmaster, not to hold on to the handles, because then it just kind of loses its strength building capacity for your legs, because you're taking the weight through your arms. So yes, a Stairmaster is absolutely a good one. Just, yeah, really boring. But people say that about running, quite frankly. So who are we to judge? All right, the rowing machine. What do you think about that, Daniel?
Well, again, mind-numbing, something
Yes.
that I don't enjoy, but
Yeah.
anybody that has come from a rowing background has some of the best leg strength, endurance, VO2 max, you name it. Any rower any friends that I've got that I run with now that used to be a rower just has this ability to just bury themselves. So if you can get strong on a rower, your heart rate's going to get really strong. Like you said, VO2 max, your leg strength, everything about the rowing machine. I don't think there's a negative to it besides the fact that it is boring. But every benefit you're going to get from it is really good. I think it really translates well to riding. I'm not sure that if it translates massively to running, because I probably haven't done enough research on the balance across the two. But as a strength and endurance aspect of it, it's amazing. It's probably 9 out of 10. It's just boring as well.
Yeah. I mean, it would be hard to sit on that for an hour or so, wouldn't it? Yeah. Ron.
Yes, I grew up, or not grew up, when I was in my late teens to early 20s. I grew up knowing a lot of rowers, and they were physical beasts. Like they barrel chests, massive shoulders. Like they were strong people. Whether that translates into a running body, perhaps not. You might be a bit too muscular around the chest and upper body. If you're doing it correctly, yes, it does work on your leg strength a lot. But I'm not sure that a lot of people who just get on a ski machine rowing machine, do it properly.
Yeah, I agree. They mainly use their arms.
Yes,
people don't.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you would need to make sure you're using your legs well for it to even remotely relate to running.
Yeah.
But as a fitness tool, I think it's great. It's a tough, action as far as fitness goes.
So what would you give it?
So I would give it probably a 7.
Yep. All righty. Yeah. I mean, I agree with both of you. I think it is great for fitness, and it is good for runners because we don't really work the back of our bodies much, So you're working the back and sort of the hamstrings and all that sort of stuff. I mean, the quads as well, but it really gets you working the back of your body. I agree, great for fitness, but yeah, boring. I'd almost rather go on the Stairmaster personally, because on the Stairmaster, I can put my phone there and watch YouTube. Bit harder to do on the rowing machine.
Get a lot closer, a lot
yes, that's right. So that would be freaking annoying. And it's really, the rowing machine is just really hard to get the action correct.
Yeah.
Like you say, like it is hard. And then you've got to learn the proper way to do it, which takes away from its cross-training benefits, because you're focusing on form rather than on just training. So it's kind of like, meh, and the motion isn't really similar to running. Like cycling, it is. Like you can learn fast legs doing that. The Stairmaster, very similar to running. Rowing machine, not really. There's not really any similarities. So yeah, I'd probably give it more a 6 for me. 6-ish. Good for something different, but I wouldn't really highly recommend it.
Yep.
All righty, next one, the ski erg. Right, Daniel, I see. Yeah, no.
That's a no from Daniel.
Yeah,
What are
no,
your thoughts? Come on, aren't you one of those gym junkies there?
not one little bit. I think I've done the ski erg about 4 times in my life, and that was 1 week out from the 2 times I've done high rocks.
Okay.
So it was something that, yeah, I don't enjoy the ski erg whatsoever.
Yeah.
Again, does it really benefit running? Probably not. It goes to what if you're in a phase where you don't, maybe you're between events where you're running and you want something different. Go to a gym and train for a high rocks or something, because there's a running element to it, but then there's a lot of other things in between. I put sort of the ski erg and the rower and stuff in almost like a hybrid high rocks type of training facility, where it's great for a 3 month block where you might just want to have a little bit of a break from running, try something different, and then go to your F45 and do a HIIT class a couple of times a week where you're getting the rower, the ski erg, and things like that. It's great for something different, but I wouldn't substitute it as taking a run away and going to the gym and doing ski erg and run, things like that.
Yeah.
Can you imagine doing the ski erg for an hour?
No, it's a big no from me.
Yeah. So what would you give it out of 10?
One.
Nice. Ron.
Right. I think it might have a benefit if you've got a foot injury where you can't,
true.
you know, I mean, with that, you're using pretty much most of your muscles other than your feet.
Yeah.
So maybe if you've got a foot injury and you can't run, but you can put weight on it. So maybe if you've got a toe injury, okay, we're getting smaller and smaller here.
But if you're wearing a boot.
Yeah. But as far as benefits to running, I would have it pretty low on the scale.
So what would you give it?
So I'd probably give it a 3.
Yep. For me, the only benefit would be if you use poles. Like it really probably is good for strengthening your shoulders and arms for if you're using poles, if you've got like Tour de Géant coming up. You might want to do a little bit of the ski erg, and I probably will incorporate it a bit, but like 3 lots of 5 minutes, at the end of a run or something. Like seriously, that would be it. More to just build a little bit of that strength and that motion in the arms and develop the shoulder strength. Because for me, one of the things when I use poles a lot is I do get sore elbows and shoulders in the middle of a race.
Yep.
As in the actual joint rather than the muscles. So that would be good for that. So yeah, I would give it, other than that, no, like seriously, I don't love it. And when we went to BFT for a while, oh my God, it was so annoying. Every time I do it, and I thought I was okay, like I look like everyone else. The instructor would keep coming, no, you're doing it wrong. Do it this way. And I'd do it. No, that's still not. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sakes, just let me do it. Whatever. I don't care. I'm not going to become a professional.
You're not going to become a ski erg professional. Just let me get through it.
So it was like, so yeah, I'd give it a 1 to 2. Yeah. All right, we'll go to you first for swimming because you're an ex-swimmer.
So yeah, swimming is something that I've in the past, I haven't done a lot of it in recent times, but in the past I've actually done a fair bit of swimming and enjoyed it. So
yes, you might enjoy it, but what is its relevance to running?
Its relevance to running is it's something that you do when you're injured.
Yeah, okay.
If you're that way inclined, which I would be, the last time I swam regularly was when I was injured. So yes, it's good for fitness. Yes, it's good for upper body strength, but that's about all it's
Is it good for fitness?
It is, because there's a lot of breath control.
Yes, there's breath control.
And it is physically demanding on
for me it is when I'm trying not to drown. Yep.
But I mean, like cardiovascular, it is physically demanding in that respect. So yes, it does help for fitness, but it doesn't translate to running fitness, and it doesn't translate to running strength. So as an injury, something to do when you're injured and can't run, yes, but not
so
really.
What would you give it?
For the sake of how we're grading things, I'd probably grade it a 3 to 4.
Yep. Okay. Thank you. Daniel, swimming. You've done a bit too.
I love swimming. I swam when I was a kid all the way through school and everything like that. Obviously then triathlon. So I'm a big one for swimming, whether it's for the benefit of what we're talking about, probably not so much. But when I swim now, like I swim usually at least once a week or something, when I'm swimming, I'm a really weird person. I count every one of my strokes. So I count up to 100 and then go back down again. So this is something that I do when I'm swimming, but I also use it as a way to increase my breathing capacity. So I'll then swim 2 and then hold my breath for 3 strokes, 4 strokes, all the way up to 8 and then back down to 0. So then that becomes quite hard because you're pushing your body through the water and also holding your breath. So I use it as a bit more of a sort of breath training tool as well. I think it's great because like I often then swim through winter as well. It's going to recover the muscles going in the cold water out in the bay. Just being in the salt water as well, it's just nice on the muscles and things like that.
Yes, I might add that when I call myself a swimmer, I'm a pool swimmer. I'm not a beach swimmer. I'm not a open water swimmer. The cold is enough to drive me away from that.
I love the open water more than the pool. If you told me to go swim in the pool right now, I'd swim like 4 laps and be like, all right, see you later. But go swim at 1.5K in the bay, and I'm like, easily do that. So I'm a big one for swimming, but as a substitute for anything, probably not so much. Look, you can run in the water if you want, like if you are a little bit injured and still wanting to do that.
We're going to get to that.
That's the next one.
Calm your farm.
But swimming for the enjoyment and everything like that, I'd give it a 10 out of 10. But for the benefit of what we're discussing, it's probably only like a 4 or 5. The fitness doesn't really translate to running and things like that, but it's a good little substitute for something different. But not really a running specific cross-training aspect.
Okay, so I'm going to talk as the one non-swimmer. If you're a non-swimmer, it has literally no fitness benefits because you're so useless that you do 1 lap, then you're dying, your form's shit, you're splashing water in your mouth. If you're a good swimmer and you've got good form, yes, you can focus on the fitness part. If you're someone like me, which most runners are, sink like a stone and uncoordinated, then generally you're not going to be a very good swimmer, which means you can't even get to that point where you're developing your fitness because you're just trying not to sink, right? So that's what 80 to 90% of runners would be like. Not many runners are very good swimmers. So therefore there's literally no fitness benefit for them. So that's why I suggest to most of my runners when they want to do cross training, I say do the next one, which we'll get to, because they're not really getting any fitness benefits from it. I agree. I think if you're a good swimmer, it's great for breath control. That's really good for, developing your lung capacity and all that. Shoulder strength, strong arms, whatever. It's
You'll
not
get that in the gym. Like you don't.
I think you're better off getting, once again, that's like doing 20 reps with a light weight. It's that kind of endurance, right? You're better off doing some heavy upper body. And I don't know. I just personally, I don't think much of it. Maybe like on your rest day as a recovery modality, if you find it enjoyable for that. But for fitness development or increasing your fitness or working on your fitness for running, I'd give that a 1. Like unless you're actually an ex-swimmer, someone who can actually swim and actually work on your fitness, most people can't. And it takes so much learning. Once again, it's learning the getting the skills up, and you focus so much on that, you're not actually developing fitness. So it's like, to me, that's not worth it. So 1 from me. All right, pool running. Now, pool running, I'm going to go first because I love pool running.
I've never done it, so I'm only working on what you've told me about.
So I had a stress fracture many years ago, and because I had a stress fracture, wasn't allowed on the bike, wasn't allowed on the elliptical, wasn't allowed to do anything except swimming or pool running. And being the shit swimmer that I am, I did pool running. So you get your belt and you're doing the running action. So it's similar to running action. You were doing intervals. You're keeping that motion of running, and you can develop, fast leg movement from doing that. It's really good. Like I increased fitness. I lost weight. Not that I'm saying you should use it as a weight loss tool, but I was eating exactly the same as when I was running, and I ended up losing weight. So I'm just saying that if you're worried about, oh my God, I can't run, I'm going to put on weight. As long as you're doing something that's actually really quite demanding, you'll be fine. And so I did pool running for 6 weeks, 6 to 7 days a week. and I came back to running, I hadn't lost any fitness. Whereas if I'd been swimming, I probably would have, and I probably would have. I mean, pool running is boring, but I'd have died of boredom more with swimming, I reckon. So I mean, even before I got injured, I was using pool running once a week just for cross training, just to do extra training without more running. So I would give pool running an 8 to 9 as a way of keeping running fitness if injured, and also as a good way of if you're injury prone or if you're wanting to build mileage without doing more running. It's like doing running but without the impact. So I would give pool running an 8 to 9.
Yeah,
it's something again, I'm with Ron, I've never done.
Yeah.
Lucky enough to have never been seriously injured like that I haven't been able to run. But I understand what you mean by not necessarily a weight loss, but when it comes to swimming or being in the water, your core body temperature heats up, so then your metabolism it goes through the roof. So then if your body's going to then be sort of eating itself away like constantly after, so then you're actually really working your body really well in the water. So yeah, as that side of it, like you said, I think if you're still doing the running form and everything like that, then obviously you're going to be able to keep your fitness. So coming from somebody that's never done it, I understand the benefits.
Yeah.
So taking from everything that you're saying, it would have to be really good, have to give it an 8 or 9 out of 10. But I've just been lucky enough to not have to do it. Which is I'm very happy with, because
oh God, like I wouldn't. I mean, I did it as cross training when I wasn't injured, but then it was like I didn't do it regularly because it was pretty average. Like it was boring, and like you're clock watching, the whole time.
Plus, there is also the added bonus of getting to know all the old.
Oh yeah, I got to know all the old people. I was in on all the old people goss. It was really funny. It's like, you really notice how you make friends with different groups, and I was in on all the goss, and because I'd be pool running, so I'd be moving around to all the different little groups and chatting, and it was quite interesting observation of human nature and connections and that sort of stuff. So in that way, it was cool too. So yes. All right, what would you give? Once again,
I'd have to give it the same as you, having never done it myself.
Okay.
So I've nothing really to add to it.
Yep. All right, yoga. Well, you've never done yoga.
I've done it once. I think I went once with you, and that was enough.
And it was hot yoga, though. So
yes, that was hot yoga.
And what would you give it as a benefit for running? I mean, obviously, it's not cross training that's going to develop running fitness.
Yeah,
we realize that.
I understand that there's benefits for flexibility and balance. So probably 5 to 6.
Yep. Okay. Cool. Daniel?
Again, probably, I think I've only done 1, maybe 2 yoga classes myself. I've done Pilates a bit more, but I think it's very good for strengthening or lengthening the muscles and being able to, like if you are sore one day, going to a yoga class to slow the body down, really sort of get your breathing under control and things like that. I think it's a great mindfulness sort of little chop out for yourself, and you are lengthening and stretching your muscles. So I think that's probably a 6 or 7 out of 10, but it's not a substitute for cross training. But if you can add in a yoga class a week, I think your body will be thankful for it for sure.
Yep. Sounds good. I mean, obviously I don't at the moment, but I used to go to yoga 3 to 4 times a week, hot yoga. So I think it's good for,
but also not as a replacement to running.
No, absolutely not. Only as a supplement. Great for balance, for core work, for mobility, for breath control, like you said. Also for, focusing your mind, because you can't be thinking about your shopping list when you're trying to balance on one leg with the other leg in the air kind of thing, like you can only focus on what you're doing. So in that regard, it's really beneficial. And I think in the regard of doing something completely different to running. Running is quite stressful on the nervous system. And this is something completely different. And like you said, calming and almost a bit meditative. So yeah, from that perspective of it being beneficial for running from being completely different, I would give it, about a 7 to 8. But helping with running fitness, like a 0, it doesn't help that way. But I think almost from the mindfulness aspect, I would give it a higher score.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so the next one is stretching, just
Stretching.
plain stretching.
I love stretching. I can watch you do it all day.
Ron never ever stretches.
I don't.
So what would you give stretching?
I would give it a 2.
Even though when you get up off the couch, you're like bent over like a pretzel.
That's stretching for me. Getting up off the couch is actually my form of
Like he
stretching.
hobbles like a 90-year-old nonna
Yeah.
getting off
No,
the couch.
I understand it's important. I just, yeah, I don't get any enjoyment from
No,
it.
it's not about
And
enjoyment.
yeah, so I try and avoid it like the plague.
Yeah, well, you do. You do avoid it. Stretching, Daniel. Do you do any stretching? So I'm guessing what number did you give it to?
Yeah, 2.
Yep.
I think I'm going to sound exactly like Ron right now.
Typical males.
I get off the couch like a 90-year-old nonna as well. It's something that I should do because
Oh,
I
yes.
I
Yeah.
need to do it. But even when I'm sitting at home, like I'm not then jumping on the floor to stretch.
Yeah.
Again, it should be an 8 out of 10 because it's something that you really need to do because I think for injury prevention and all that stuff, if you can strengthen and lengthen your muscles, it's going to be really beneficial and it's going to help you in the long term of being able to keep your body really active and mobile. But unfortunately, I don't do it. So, but to all my athletes, stretch.
So what would you give it out of 10?
I'd give stretching a 7 out of 10 because it is really beneficial.
In all seriousness, I would do the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just something that I don't enjoy, so I don't do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, look, I don't enjoy it, but I do it every day because, like I had that hip thing a
Yeah.
couple of weeks ago and we've managed to stretch it out.
Yeah.
Right. And my hip thing is fine now because we found a way to stretch the psoas. I lie on a table, one pushes down on my leg and it stretches out the psoas. And that hip pain has completely gone away after 1 to 2 weeks of doing some different hip stretches. And so I didn't have to do any, like I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Am I even going to be able to do the race? And it's gone because I just stretched.
Yeah.
So to me, and I've got an old injury from when I was a mountain biker. I fractured a vertebrae, so my lower back's pretty stiff too. And if I don't stretch it, like I can't even, if I don't stretch my back, I can't put my socks on. I can't tie up my shoelaces, anything like that. So stretching for me, if I didn't do stretching, I wouldn't be able to run. So yeah, I would give it a good 8 out of 10. No, it's not going to make you fitter for running. And I don't stretch necessarily to be, flexible like a gymnast, but to be mobile. So I sort of do stretching, mobility work. And I think if people stop thinking of it as just stretching to be flexible, it's just to actually have range of motion. And if we think about that, you need range of motion to be able to run. So yeah, I'd give it an 8.
Yep.
All right. One of my not so, well, I won't say elliptical. Daniel, what do you think of the elliptical machine?
I'd probably put that up with the ski erg.
Yeah.
Again, probably cardio health is really good, but again, a little bit mind numbing, anything like that. So, but cardio health, if you want to increase your like cardiovascular like strength and things like that, I think it's beneficial, and obviously non-load bearing things like that.
Yeah.
But it's probably up there with the same as running. Like it does give you some cardiovascular fitness and things like that. But again, it's a bit mind numbing for me. But the benefits are probably there. It's just if you can deal with the mind numbingness of it and the awkwardness of it, it's probably quite beneficial. Like if you want to do some substitute, this probably is a little bit beneficial, but it's just I'd probably just give it a 5 out of 10 because there's some good parts to it and there's some bad parts to it, but probably a range of 5 out of 10. It's not the worst, but it's not the best.
Yeah.
I agree with that. It's obviously it looks like it should replicate a running form, but there's something about it that just it doesn't. Like firstly, when you run, you actually put your feet in line, whereas on an elliptical, your feet are wide.
Yes.
So it moves the hips differently.
Yeah.
Which is not normal. So can be prone to injury, I think. And yes, if you have an injury and you don't want to load the body with the contact, it might stop that, but it's not going to help you in running because you need to do that contact to basically teach the body to cope with it. So as a substitute, no. As an injury, something to do while injured, also maybe no, because I think it might create more trouble than it, helps. So
what would you give it then?
So I would say 4 to 5, because yes, it might help your fitness, but I think it creates other problems.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, because I have used elliptical when I've been injured, and I prefer the bike much more. And it's boring. It does feel uncomfortable. There's something about it that feels uncomfortable. And I find it personally hard to work hard enough to get my heart pumping. Like
it is slower.
Almost like, I don't know.
It is a slower
motion
than running.
And it's hard to, it almost starts bouncing off around the gym to try and get it, moving fast enough to actually get your heart rate up. So yeah, I'd give it like a 3 out of 10. I think it's pretty naff. I think we've gone beyond the elliptical. Like you're right. It doesn't replicate running at all, I don't reckon. You're right. It looks like it should, but I don't reckon it does.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd give it a 3. All right, next one. Make sure you read that correctly. Rucking.
Rucking. I'm assuming that means hiking with a pack?
Yeah, with a heavy pack.
Yes, okay. Because
that's a fancy way of saying hiking, because people don't want to be called hikers. I'm going out rucking. That sounds so much cooler than I'm going for a walk.
I think that's the British in you coming out, because I think that's what they call it in Britain. I think that's,
but with a heavy pack.
Yeah, I think I really don't think that has much relation, other than being in the same, area as running. I don't think it really translates into any kind of benefit to running.
But if you're injured and can't run?
Well, even then, if you're injured and can't run, you probably shouldn't be carrying heavy pack.
True.
That's not going to help.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah. No, I think that's what you do when you don't want to run.
Yeah, fair.
To be honest. So I would probably say a 2 or 1.
Yep. Daniel?
Yeah, see, I love like a good hike.
Yeah.
Like if I'm going out, we often do a good hike with the kids once a year, where we go overnight and you're carrying 30 kilos in the pack and you're going up to the top of Buffalo and then back around. So I really love that side of it, of doing some good hiking with a heavy pack. But whether I'd say it's instead of running or anything, like you said, if you're injured and you can't run, you can't really hike.
Yes.
But I love that side of it, getting out into nature and doing those things, but it's certainly not a substitute. But when you're walking up the hill with a big pack, it probably, and then if you're looking at an ultra that you're walking and slogging through when you're really tired, you can probably say, oh, well, I did it with a 30-kilo pack. I can do it with a 8-kilo pack on my back now. But it's probably not a substitute, but it's just a good weekend thing to do I find, with friends or kids and things like that.
Yep. So what score would you give it?
I'd probably give it a 4. Like, I really enjoy it, but as a substitute or anything like that, probably not. But it's really enjoyable when you do it.
Yeah. All right. So for my mind, it's good for working on, muscular endurance. It's like when I wear the heavy packs and run up the hill, I hike it. I rike it, not ruck it. So, I mean, I think, for my mind, rucking is like hiking with purpose. So you would be pushing it a bit. I think if you're injury prone, then perhaps that's something good to do. Like, you do your long run Saturday and maybe do some rucking on Sunday kind of thing. But once again, I agree, you've got to be careful with a heavy pack. Like, I know when I do running up the hill with a heavy pack, I empty the water out, so I'm not going downhill with a heavy pack, putting all that pressure on my knees. Like 30 kilos on your knees when you're going downhill, even walking, that's tough, I'm sure. So yeah, I would give rucking a 3 to 4. Like, I'm sure it's good, and but it's also like slower and slower than like I'd be wanting to run the whole time.
Well, you have talked about doing hikes and things like that, but every time we think about it, it's like, it would
so slow.
We could get there so much faster if we just ran.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, the next one, which we'll let you go first, Daniel, seeing as you've done it before. High rocks training.
Again,
how does that make you someone a better runner?
Well, you've got some good strength element to high rocks. So there is obviously the lunges, holding a 20-kilo sandbag, which is obviously really beneficial for running. I think that the wall balls, because you're squatting and doing things like that, is also beneficial to running. You have the 8 1Ks in between, so
Yeah.
and you're obviously running them quite fast. Then it's a bit of interval training and things like that in between. So there is a lot about high rocks that does transfer over to running. But again, it's got the sled pull, sled push, rower, and ski erg, which which I don't enjoy. But the burn you get from doing the sled push is really beneficial to running as well. So there's a lot about it that does work, but I think it's something that you do in between races, to be honest. I loved it when I did it, but I didn't want to then feel like, oh, I'm going to do that again. Whereas I think it's a bit like it's a bit like CrossFit. Like CrossFit came and blew up, and CrossFit was great, but then I think it just got too heavy, so people just struggle with form and things like that. But high rocks, it's a lot more manageable for a lot of people because it's a big F45 thing.
Yeah. So what would you give it?
I'd give high rocks probably a 7 out of 10.
Okay.
Yep.
Ron.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's pretty good for an overall fitness and strength. I like you say, I probably wouldn't focus too much on it when I'm training for an event because it takes too much away from running. But good to maybe say it would be good. I've never done it, but it might be good to, have a break when you're having a break from running.
Yeah. So something good to do as in your off season.
Yeah. So I would also give that, maybe a 7 out of 10.
Yep. I know a lot of runners do it and they talk about being a hybrid athlete and that sort of stuff. I don't know. I think it's a bit, I'm not big on high rocks. I think the sled push and pull is actually not too bad. We do a bit of that too, don't we? To help strengthen our knees and that sort of stuff. But I don't think high rocks training is particularly good training for running. It won't necessarily make you a better runner. I think you're better off doing specific strength work for running and running. If it's an off-season kind of thing, I think you're almost better off because that's quite high intensity, once again, which is hard on the nervous system. Maybe it's time to do something more like swimming or something that sort of brings it back down a bit, and it's a bit different to running. But I don't know. I would give it a 5 to 6, but that could also just be my bias of not liking high rocks, thinking it's a bit wanky. And everybody's a winner. Everyone's a winner. Everybody wins. Like, honestly. Everyone wins. They go, I'm the Australian champion of the age group 39 to 40, and I'm the champion of the age group 37 to, like, there's so many age groups that everybody ends up winning.
It's kind of like going to a child's birthday party.
It's like going to a child's birthday party and everyone's a winner. And I don't know that. Did you win?
No.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Jeez, you must have
I didn't win. I survived. That was
and that's probably a win in
I survived.
itself.
Yeah. That, which probably means that you're more of a runner than a high roxer.
Yeah. Because I didn't train the ski erg. I didn't train.
Okay. So you didn't.
I just trained lunges, and squats, and walks like that, and I ran. So that was my training for it. So I didn't do all the other elements.
Okay.
So I just was a runner that just decided to do high rocks one day.
Yeah, okay. But I do find that all I see on Instagram is whenever there's a high rocks competition, everyone's posting how they've won. And it's like, we can't all win.
What I don't like about it is people don't even start with their shirts on.
I know. Oh my God, find that so annoying. Oh my God, what is it about the shirts off? Even when I see runners, I crack the shit.
I'm the same. I'm like, mate, it's 5:30 in the morning. It's 12 degrees. What's your shirt doing off?
It's not that freaking hot. I know, like seriously, it's just, oh God, it drives me mad. Or when you're seeing these ultras, these guys, no shirt on, wearing a Solomon pack.
And you just know that they're
have the worst shave. just for the sake of showing off. I don't know. Anyway, people are probably like, no, there's a real reason and whatever.
Okay.
All I can see is if maybe there's nipple chafe. That could be the only reason.
Yes, not to wear a shirt. Yes.
It doesn't slow you down that much. You're not breaking
No.
any world record.
And there's such a thing as Band-Aids, you know?
Yeah, exactly right. So I'm one that's in that same category as just put your shirt on.
Yeah, just put your shirt on. Like, seriously. Anyway, okay, the last one is not doing any cross training.
Yeah. No. I mean, until I
What would you give that a score,
until
Ardo?
I met Isabel, I would have given that a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Since
Because you were of the opinion that if you're not running, you're not training.
I just ran. Like I ran and that was all I was interested in doing.
You ran and you sat around injured.
Yeah.
That were the two things you did.
And I did them both really well. Yeah. But yeah, now obviously not doing any cross training. Well, is it a high score? No, it's a low score, isn't it? So a 1 out of 10.
Yeah. All right, Daniel, what do you think of someone not doing any cross training and only running?
Yeah, I think, look, there's a lot of people that do that.
I know. Yeah.
I think it's, if your body's capable and they're doing it, I think it's going to probably not pay dividends in the long run. I think you do need to manage the load at some stage.
Yeah.
You can't continually do that stuff. Obviously, if you're adding in elements, if you're adding in strength, adding in yoga, adding in biking on top of it all, I think that's great. I think you just need to be mixing it up a little bit instead of just running 140K weeks and just burning the body out. So I think, again, it's not doing anything. I think that's, like you said, I think it's a 1 out of 10. I think you do need to substitute something in there just to give that body a bit of a rest, whether it's even just that mental rest of not having to tie the shoes up every day and pound the pavement. I think you just need to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, I would agree. I think it's you know, yes, you want to be a runner, and the best training for running is running, but you also want to be a complete athlete. And running is very one-dimensional. You're just going in that one plane of motion, and it's good to move the body in different planes like you can with strength work. So at the very minimum, like we said, you should be doing strength work because it is actually part of your running training. But I also believe you should be doing some sort of mobility. So the three, ones you should, well, four, because you should be doing strength, plyo, mobility, and running. So that's 4. So I think, you should at a minimum be doing those. And if you do have extra time, I mean, I know how hard it is to find time for everything, especially when you've got work, family, and everything. But if you're sort of like us now that we've kind of don't have the young kids anymore, we can start doing more cross training. You probably won't.
I could, though.
But you could. But, because of me, you do the strength work at least. So that's something. But yeah, certainly for me, once I'm training for Tour de Géant, once again, there's only so many kilometers I can do. So that's when I'll start adding in the Stairmaster. I'll do a bit of ski erg to develop that, shoulder and arm strength. But other than that, I certainly wouldn't be doing any elliptical or swimming or pool running or anything like that. Because also swimming and pool running, it's not just time consuming, but then there's also the, the showering, the change. It becomes time consuming in many ways.
And going to the pool.
Yeah, going to the pool. It's another place. Mind you, going to the gym for the Stairmaster strength work. Yeah. But anyway, but yes, I think not doing any cross training, a 0 or a 1 out of 10. I think everyone should be doing a little bit of something.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay until it's not.
Yes. And I think it's good, even if you're young and you can get away with not doing anything else, it's actually good to start the habits for when you do get older, because everyone is getting older. And eventually, even the young people will be old. I remember being young, I wasn't always in my mid-50s, right? Yeah. I was once 20 and thought I was, eternally young as well. So, you got to get ready for your old age. You got to prepare for that now if you're young.
Yeah. I think there's also one that we didn't discuss that can be a little bit hard on the body, but I think playing sport just in general, like anything outside, we've got a dad's footy game that we play once a year. So then you train every Sunday afternoon just for one game against another local primary school, which one year I broke my collarbone, one year I dislocated my shoulder. So
Oh, Jesus.
there's that element to it that's not great. But then I play basketball with some friends on a Wednesday night that gives you a bit of agility, gives you a bit of
Yeah.
social element to it, because running can be a very lonely sport.
It can be, yes.
Also, if you can chuck in some playing sport during the year as well, just to give your body a bit of a rest. You're obviously still burning, like gaining fitness and things like that, but it's also the fun element of keeping fit and keeping the body moving. I think that's really important as well. So just add other things into your life that doesn't have to revolve around running. Like I kick the feet like every other day with my daughters now because they're playing footy. So it's just, that's lengthening my hamstrings. It's hurting my back when I have to pick up the ball because I don't stretch. Like it's all those little things that, like the agility is still there for when you are running downhill and having to watch lines and stuff. If you can get agile and playing sport and things
And
like
that's probably a little bit of, working, it's almost a bit of plyo and fast twitch muscle fiber work there too.
Yeah. So I think you gotta just mix it up a bit sometimes and just find something different, whether it be pickleball. Like I know a few people that are playing pickleball and it's a great little workout for them.
All I can say, my issue with any of these things is every time someone starts them, they get injured. Not everyone, but a lot of people get injured. One of the athletes got injured doing pickleball. I had one of my athletes get injured playing netball. Another athlete get injured playing basketball. I remember when I was cross training on my mountain bike, I fell off it and broke my shoulder. Like I'm paranoid with cross training about injuring myself. So I try to choose the safest options possible. But I do, and also I come from a non-sport playing background. Like I do not play team sports because I was always far too scared to, because I was scared I'd let the team down. So I've never played team sports, only because I was useless. And so for me, once again, it would be too difficult. But I think if you come from a team sports background, then yes, but just be careful.
Yeah.
You don't need to, go crazy with it. Yeah. What are your thoughts on team sports?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up playing team sports. I love playing team sports. I don't do it anymore. But yes, I agree. There's a huge benefit to mixing it up, using different muscles, using your, socializing skills. Very
Working on them.
Yeah, very important to work on them.
You remember how to talk to people.
Yeah. No, I think there's definitely a benefit to that. Absolutely.
Yeah. That I was thinking of putting that in, but I didn't because I don't play. I've never played team sports. It didn't even. I thought of it and went, nah, that doesn't count. But yeah. Yes. So thank you for bringing that up. All right. Well, that is cross training ranked. So basically, we would say then, I'm tipping from that. Let's go back up. That strength training, plyometrics, mobility work, and then cycling probably. Would you say that was kind of the Yep. I think so. So if everyone should be doing strength work. If you do plyometrics, just be very, very careful and just a little bit, like 5 minutes is actually really, 5 minutes 3 times a week is heaps, So get on the cross-training bandwagon, basically.
Absolutely.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us again, Daniel. We will have you back. Weekend. Yeah, thanks.
Yep.
We'll have you back on again in a few weeks because, like we say, we've got 2 weeks off, and then we'll have, and we'll just, because we have no idea what we're doing, so we'll babble about something, and we'll think up another topic. I was even thinking for the next time, because you work in recovery, we could maybe rank recovery modalities. I think that might be a good next one to do. And you probably know more about all of that than us. So it might be good for us too.
Sounds good.
All righty. Well, thanks for joining us. And thank you, everybody, for coming and listening to the Peak Endurance podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe, review, do all those awesome things. And follow us on YouTube too, because we're up to a grand total of 511 subscribers.
We're going for 520. Sweep us along.
We've been watching this guy. He does park runs, and he's going for 15,000 followers. And I'm like, oh, we've got 500.
Every little bit counts.
Every bit counts.
On the way.
So yes, follow us on YouTube and be thrilled. Yes. All right. Thanks for joining us.
Listening.
And we'll catch you next time. See the red. Yep.
Bye.
Bye. No, you haven't stopped it yet. This is